So let's talk about a brand new Sarah that's launching, and this is a modification / pimp my bag. This one's got all kinds of fun features. So as you can see on this one, the clock hands do move. So that's going to be something we talk about in this video on how to make your hands move. Additionally, this is a special applique-on, but I made it a pocket. So you have an extra hidey pocket. So there's that. And then I also go through just really briefly how to add this little bit of applique-on. All this is just, there's already some artwork here. So all this is they include this little bit just to give you a little bit of raised embellishment. So I kind of go through how to do this as well. And then there's an additional slip pocket for the inside that I will walk you through briefly, just folding it over and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and get started on making your own haunted clock. For the haunted clock, you're going to want your front main panel of your Sarah. You're going to have 4 hands here, 2 that are the hour hand, 2 that are the minute hand, or however you want to remember it. You've got your face. You're going to need 1 set of rivets, and then of course you need the back. I do like, well, I've got something on this already. I do like interfacing the front, so I would recommend that you, if you wanted to give it a little bit of added oomph, to go ahead and stabilize it. Specifically this part right here. And the reason I say that is that this part here takes a lot for when you're trying to sew it on, when you're turning the bag. So I would recommend, if you don't want to stabilize all of it, that's fine, but just put a little bit of something right through here. That's just my only thing. I won't be doing anything for this video just so we can make this quick, but that would be my recommendation. As with most of my videos when I am doing these weird sew-on things, they typically will go on with a little bit of overhang. This has about, it's less than a 1/4 inch on both sides. So I did up, usually I'd say half an inch. I did take it a little bit further this time to give plenty of room. So I didn't math. What is that? I see, as you can see, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I took it 5/8. If you feel comfortable leaving it at ½ inch, and you're like, oh, I can totally do that enough, go for it. But for this video, I did not trust myself. So I will be doing the 5/8. And I carry that all the way through, even on the bottom, just so I have plenty of room, especially when I go to attach this to the gusset later, which is not part of this video. This video is just showing you how to construct the front panel and the additional add-ons. Once you make this front panel, the rest of the Sarah is essentially the exact same in construction. So I am going to pretty much sew from here all the way around, and I'm going to back stitch really well. I'm probably gonna go back and forth a couple, 3 or 4 times to secure this area down really well, especially because we do pull on this quite a bit. So I want to make sure that that doesn't rip or give way. So I'm going to give that a good back stitching. And if you wanted to, you could use a really, like maybe an 1/8 of an inch, yeah, 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape just to help hold it in place. That is up to you. Let me see what that would look like so I can give you guys some guidance here. Looks like that. You don't want a lot because you don't want to have to try to peel off this tape after you've sewn it on, and you don't want it to get stuck on the inside of the pocket either. So I'm trying to center this. I've got my little feet kind of sitting on the edge here, kind of making sure it's nice and centered. The only place it's not, it was obviously the top where you're going to have a little bit of overhang. So this piece is ready to go to the sewing machine. If you wanted to, like I talked about stabilizing, you could also stabilize these. It's not necessary, but if you like to give it a little bit, you totally can. Just use some scraps like SF101 or a little bit of your Decaville Light or some Profuse Stiff. Totally up to you. You are going to want to add a little bit of double-sided tape. Do not go crazy because you do have to sew these to hold them together. And then you're going to want to line these up with the right sizes. Now, there is one that's got like a gray knob on the front. That's going to be your hour hand, so that's going to go in the front. And then you'll just repeat for the minute hand. All right, so I'm going to set those to the side. And then finally, on your face, you're going to want to find the center of your circle, and then you're going to want to make a hole using a hole punch and all, however, because that's where you're going to be sticking your rivets. So go ahead and make your hole from your preferred method. I'm going to go ahead and stick this rivet through there so I can see it. There we go. So that one is ready to just kind of chill out and be a creative, festive piece. So we are going to go to the sewing machine and we are going to stitch the other parts. Oh, additionally, if your sewing machine gets a little bitey like mine, I would also recommend grabbing like a piece of parchment paper, because when we attach this to the back panel and top stitch this down, I don't like the feet to dig into it, so I put the parchment paper down and then I put this on top of it so it gives it a little bit of protection. I tell myself that makes me feel better, so I'm telling you the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and do the easy part first, which is going to be sewing the back on. And remember, I'm going to backstitch really well a couple times just so we can make sure it's good and secure. And then I'm going to go all around. There we go. And then I'm going to trim my threads. Like I said, this is the easiest part, honestly. And for right now, I will set that to this side. Okay. Now, for the minute and hour hand, you are going to be top stitching these at, you know, 1/8 of an inch, just basic top stitching. I have to hand crank this whole thing because I do not trust myself with the pedal. So to do yours, do as you must, but you're just going to top stitch all the way around. I pulled my threads to the back. You could pull them through the center if you so choose. Being that this is so tiny, I'm not going to like fight that. I'm going to tie it off, singe it, and then I'm going to repeat for the other one. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your hour hands on top of each other, and then you're going to want to put a hole right through the center of that. Once you have that hole made, you're going to go ahead and thread your hands onto the rivet that we put on the clock. And then attach your rivet and set. So this can go to the machine, or I'm sorry, this can go to your press or however you set rivets, and you can go ahead and set that. With the back piece facing towards you, I would recommend using some double-sided tape to help hold the front piece in place. You can use as much or as little as your little heart desires. And take that paper off. And you're just going to line it up. I like to start at the feet. Because that's probably the easiest part. And then go up from there. Now, I might recommend because these are really intricate, I might recommend using a couple clips just right off the bat, but you might choose otherwise. That's up to you. If you've placed a lot of double-sided tape up there, you may not need clips, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to go get my parchment paper, and then I'm going to put this face down on my parchment paper, and then I'm going to pull this back so I can top stitch. If you're looking to figure out what to do with this piece is just meant to give a raised, embellished look. So the best thing to do here is apply some double-sided tape and line it up with what is already on your panel. Give it a good press. Leave your threads long, and then you would top stitch this down all the way. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you like a raised 3D look. So that's what that is for. So that can be set to the side. Then I don't know if this is included, but I thought I'd go ahead because I have another Sarah panel and this wasn't on there. So I figured I would just go through this really fast. This is an included slip pocket. All you need to do is fold this in half, top stitch this, and add this to a lining. There's nothing fancy, nothing extra here. You literally just fold this in half, top stitch it, and then baste it to whichever lining side you want on the inside of the bag. So I just wanted to go through that really quick because I saw it and I'm like, oh, we probably ought to talk about that. So I just wanted to do that really quick. All right. I'm pulling my threads long because I will pull them to the back of this panel. I'm going to start on a flat side. I like doing all the easy stuff first. I don't know, I'm a glutton, I guess, for punishment. And then I'm just going to be basting this at 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And this is where I do most of my hand cranking. So alright, if you use parchment paper, first rule of thumb is you don't want to just yank this off. You could loosen your threads and we don't want to do that. So this is perforated, so you should just be able to like gently pull it off. So from here, if you've got a little bit of overhang like I do right here, you can go through with a very sharp pair of snips or a blade, like an X-Acto knife. Clean that up. And then I would go through and singe this whole thing because for some reason I've got threads. And then finally, this is just like the hands would be, this is a really great place to edge coat, and it gives the bag just a chef's kiss professional look. So that is what I would recommend doing. And then from this point on, you just need to follow the Sarah directions in the original Sarah video. So go ahead, and I'm cutting off what looks like a string. So from here, go ahead and follow the rest of the original Sarah video. And I can't wait to see all of your haunted clock Sarahs out in the wild. So thank you for following along. Bye-bye.
When the crypt doors creak and the tombstones quake,
spooks come out for a swing and wake.
happy haunts materialize,
And begin to vocalize.
grim ghosts come out to socialize.